is really beautiful. Really gorgeous. Thank you. There's a pretty big crowd here. The last number that I heard was around 225. But there are more people, arriving all the time. It's a big, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day at the park. The sun is shining. The temperature is lovely. Oh, the trees are green.
One mic. All right. Thank y'all again so much for showing up today. For Micaiah Bryant, for Casey Goodson Jr., for Andre Hill, Deontay Bell, Tyree King, Jerron Thomas, Christopher Wade, Kareem Jones, Kwame Patrick, Henry Green, Jaquarius Robinson, and this is all just in Columbus. And there's many more names just from the past 6 years. That's only one portion of it. Today we are here to continue to lift up the life of Micaiah Bryant. We have her family here with us, and I'm gonna let her aunt, Myra, introduce the family. So we can make some noise for Micaiah Bryant and her family, please.
Okay. First off, I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your dedication for justice for Micaiah. I'm sure you can imagine this is a tragic event. It doesn't seem real. You never think that it's going to be your family that's going to be impacted by something so big and so wrong. And not that our front door is so unfortunate. We love Micaiah. Micaiah was with us. This is her grandmother. These are her brothers and her sisters. I'm her aunt. Even though she was in foster care many times, she was with us. She spent the night over my mother's house. She went to school for my mother. She was with her brothers and sisters. We are the family that know and love Micaiah. I'm sure you guys have seen in the media, she loved music. She loved to do hair. She was an awesome cook. She had a heart of gold. Micaiah was an angel that we were blessed with to have for 16 years. And this situation didn't have to happen like this. The system has failed Micaiah on so many levels. There are so many different outcomes where Micaiah will still be alive. So thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Justice for Micaiah Bryant, and Black lives definitely matter.
Make some noise for Micaiah Bryant. So we all know that the system itself is what failed Micaiah Bryant, and it failed so many Black youth and so many Black adults, just the Black community in general. But the system, from the foster care system to the judicial system, they failed Micaiah Bryant because she should be alive. She was a 16-year-old child trying to protect herself. And it's too often that we call the police for help, and they make us the criminal. They criminalize and dehumanize us in our death. So, again, thank y'all so much for coming out today. And this is heavy, and this feels more personal than anything else, because I am a black woman. I once was a black girl. And Ma'Khia deserved to live to adulthood, have a full life. She had a 5-year plan that she's not able to execute because she was executed by the police, and that's what that was. That's what you saw. So for anyone that wants to continue to defend the police's actions, he had many options. He had so many options, yet he chose the lethal option. He didn't save another person's life. He ended one person's life, and that's all he did. And that's all Nicholas Riordan needs to be noted for. Enough is enough. Columbus, Ohio is not safe for black people. And we don't say that in jest. We say that because that's the reality in our communities as they fly over our communities with their choppers in the middle of the night, as they run through our neighborhoods and arrest us without cause and harass us. As even when we stand up for black lives, they harass us and target us. And it's not okay. The mayor turns his head to it. City council don't say anything about it. And enough is enough, because Columbus, Ohio cannot continue to be overlooked when we're literally fighting for our lives out here. This is a genocide against the black community in Columbus, Ohio. And it's not okay. Ma'Khia, just like Tyree, should be alive today. Tyree didn't get to graduate. He was a 13-year-old child. And don't let video evidence, or what they want to call evidence, I don't need a video to know that she was a child and she deserves to live. I don't need a video to know that the police has continued to commit crimes against the black community. I don't need a video to know that our lives matter. That video evidence that they so quickly pushed out is a part of their agenda to say, hey, we're the good guys, protecting and serving. No, that wasn't an action of protecting and serving anyone. That was an action of the execution of a child. That was a murder. And he needs to be held accountable. Nicholas Riordan needs to be held accountable. He hasn't even been on the force for 2 years, yet he got his first body, which is a child. Ma'Khia Bryant should be here. Her family shouldn't have to suffer. They shouldn't have to join a club that no one wants to be a part of. These unexpected losses in our community does damage from the top to the bottom. It affects us all. And this is a national crisis, just like it's a local crisis. It's not an isolated incident. And this is why we ask for the defunding of the police. This is why we're asking for the abolishment of the police. This is why we are demanding the abolishment of a system that refuses to see us as even human. Because if you can blame George Floyd for having an addiction after you've seen a video of 9 minutes and 29 seconds of him being murdered, absolutely murdered, then yes, we have an issue. And we've been had an issue. And there's no such thing as reforming a system that is working exactly how it is supposed to be made to work. For the upper class, for the white upper class, for the white upper class. And it doesn't include any of us out here. It doesn't include black and brown people. It doesn't include the poor who are trying to survive. And it didn't include Ma'Khia Bryant. And that's not okay. So the mayor wants to come out and call her a young woman. She was a child. And it's enough that they adultify black children, and we're not even allowed to have childhoods and be kids and make mistakes. Ma'Khia Bryant should be alive. And that's what we need to keep saying. She should be alive, but she's not. So we have to, it's our duty as a community and as organizers to fight for justice for Ma'Khia and advocate for her. It is our duty as a community and as organizers to support this family. And a lot of people have been asking how to support them monetarily. They're actively working on that. And when I have that information, I will definitely share it, because this family deserves every dollar to support her, to support her funeral prices, expenses, to support the children and her siblings. She should be with her siblings right now. And this just really breaks my heart, because Tyree King was also a child, and he was never given the benefit of the doubt, and black children are never given the benefit of the doubt, and it's not okay. Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
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 So next we'll have Zach. He is a local social worker, and he also works with KIP. For KIP.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell. My name is Zach, and I'm a social worker. And when I say the whole damn system, I mean the whole damn system. Social work and the child welfare system are guilty as hell. Right now, there are over 400,000 children in the foster care system, and that system is letting them down. Micaiah Bryant was in foster care. Micaiah was killed by a system that was aware of the problems but failed to do anything. She died defending herself in a fight with former foster children, now adults, who lived in the same home. The argument was about chores and escalated very quickly, and her foster mom was not home to intervene. Her foster home was not a safe place for youth, and Micaiah had even shared many concerns with her family. Since November, there had been 7 calls to 911. Clearly, the home was in crisis. The youth in that home were not having their needs met and needed help. I want to be clear that I'm not blaming any single individual other than Officer Nicholas Reardon, who murdered Micaiah. I have so much empathy for people who volunteer their homes and lives to take in children, many of whom have complex needs and traumatic histories. I have so much respect for the Children's Services caseworkers who are overworked, overburdened, and underpaid. Instead, the system as a whole is to blame. I don't know the details of what life was like in that foster home, but 7 calls since November is enough for me to know that either the foster mom needed more support or the children needed a new foster home. Or maybe Micaiah's family needed more support to be able to, for her to be able to stay at home with her family where she belongs. There are many children who are in foster care because their families simply did not have enough resources to take care of their children. And what happens? They get taken from their homes, sent to a foster home, and the state gives that foster parent money to take care of somebody else's child, when that child could be at home with their own family if the state just supported them. I think everyone here recognizes that the system of policing in this country is also guilty as hell and is responsible for Micaiah's death. But I've heard people say the officer was allowed to use force to defend another person. And to those people, I say that just because it may have been legal does not mean it was right. Expand your imagination of what is possible. Violence does not have to be met with violence. As a social worker, I have de-escalated so many violent situations with children and teens without anyone getting hurt. I once had a teen try to shank me, and everyone walked away from that situation safely because I recognized that behind that teen's violence was fear. Some of you may remember that in 2017, a student opened fire at Columbus Scioto High School. One of the counselors approached the shooter, encouraged him to hand over the gun, and sat and talked with him for a half an hour until he was ready to turn himself in. The counselor stood by his side the whole time. No one was injured that morning. I'll say it again, violence does not have to be met with violence. We can abolish the police and be safer than we've ever been. The word abolition focuses on eliminating something, in this case, the police. However, the concept of abolition actually focuses on the presence of the things like community care and support, which actually make a meaningful difference in preventing crime. When everyone has access to stable housing, adequate nutrition, health and mental health care, an excellent education, and a caring community of family, friends, and neighbors, they don't need to steal or join gangs, and they have the skills to peacefully resolve conflict and control impulses. Of course, things will still happen. People will still get angry, and problems will still need responses. So what if, instead of cops who only speak one language, violence, we had social workers, crisis workers, addiction counselors, and other professionals who could respond? What if people could call to get help for themselves or for others without fear that somebody will be killed? Miles Jackson didn't need police. He needed a substance use counselor. Andre Hill didn't need police. He needed a mechanic. Micaiah Bryant didn't need police. She needed nonviolent crisis response. City Council has talked about investing money in alternative crisis response. They sent out a survey, they've held town halls, and they've talked a lot. They have a working group, but they have yet to commit to an alternative crisis response that does not involve the police. So I call on City Council to take action now. As you keep dragging your feet, the lives of Black folks and other people of color are in danger of police brutality, violence, and murder every day. Columbus is not safe for Black people. City Council, you already have blood on your hands from each act of violence committed by the police. How much more blood are you willing to collect?
Hi everyone, my name is Destiny. Hi, I'm going to introduce Miss Tanya to come speak.
I'm at a loss for words because this pain is so overwhelming. Micaiah Bryant was 16 years old. Say her name. Micaiah, as they call her, beautiful, was beautiful from what we've seen. Not to mention, look what she's done. Her life will not be in vain. When I seen the video, I reached out and I said, don't be discouraged, because we have to change the narrative. When we say she was failed by the system, I don't know how many of the social workers and elected officials are aware of D.O. versus Gleason, where she could have been in her home with a family member with the assistance the same as a foster parent. Now, it is time for us to make quality changes. Do away with qualified immunity. Hold everybody accountable for their actions, including those that go to someone's house to discipline a child that's not theirs. I could tell from the conversation that I've had with her aunt and her cousins, and watching Dawn and looking at her siblings, your life is forever changed. And you will forever have support from mothers such as myself and the organizers that are truly that's working in your best interest. Be careful. Be careful. I say that to say with all this knowledge is the key for change. We can't keep doing the same things, getting the same results. The same results is he was scared. It's legal. We watched the man walk in and shoot 8 people. They grazed his leg and walked him to the car. They ain't even need a stretcher. So for you to say, and I understand his training, it's probably done on video. This is not no freaking game. So when they're out there doing their training and they consistently tell us they need more training, when the flock are they going to do it? Because right now we have a 16-year-old young lady who didn't want to be moved away from her family and continuously moved not knowing what's the next family going to be like. She didn't know. But whatever her frustrations and discouragements were, she felt like she needed to defend herself. She was at home, or what was supposed to be her safe haven. Now, again, if we look back at the policies that have been in place since 2017, she probably would have been home. And it's called D.O. versus Gleason. And it stands with families who are having these difficulties. I know this is about Micaiah, but if Governor DeWine or John Kasich would have went ahead and adopted this bill, this policy that's already been in effect, maybe one of the other family members would have been able to keep their family together. So stop sweeping crap under the rug, because eventually it's going to spill out one way or another. One way or another. Micaiah's life mattered. Despite what we seen on the video, we know that she was already distressed. They say police aren't geared to de-escalate. That's not true. We've seen the sheriff get shot and killed here in Columbus, Ohio, and they wheeled the suspect out in a wheelchair. So it's possible to not kill. It's possible. And they make 1,000 excuses of why they're afraid of us. Well, let's get them really afraid. Let's vote them out. Let's get knowledge and start turning some of these keys to the door that they hold. Take these shackles off our hands. Take your knee off our neck. Get your shackles off my feet. And give us justice and peace. Micaiah's life is going to change more things than she probably ever imagined. And y'all get ready. Get ready. I don't know who I told that it's going to be a long road, but your life matters. And we're going to stand together forever. Y'all just got some unforeseen sisters by these circumstances. And don't nobody want this platform while they playing. They don't want this. Baby, there ain't going to be nobody that's going to walk in your boots. And they're made for walking. And you keep on walking. And as Deborah, you keep on holding on to your family. Because it should have been something that should have been done before that. Because I know if it was my house, there is protocol in everything we do in life. And the protocol was not to call the mom or the foster mom, but to call for crises. With this, I pray that we use the keys of knowledge to open up the doors and let the floodgates ring as heaven would want. Thank you.
If I film your signs? Here, I'm not going to film your faces, but I'll film your signs.
What do we want?
I dig your shirt.
What do we want?
Thank you.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! We don't get it?
Little cuties.
Shut it down!
For warriors.
Holding back my energy. When I'm yelling, you hear how I'm louder than the whole crowd here? Yeah? I yell from my stomach. Please yell from your stomach. I'm from Indiana and I'm yelling louder than you guys. Thank you. That's all I gotta say. Stomachs when you yell. I will teach you how to yell. All right.
Nice. It's the kind of lesson we need. Got some cars. Car comrades. Let me just scoot on up.
Who street? Our street! Who street? Our street! Who street? Our street! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Indict! Convict! Send those Philippines to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Who street? Our street! Who street? Our street! Who street? Our street! Who street? Our street! Say her name! Say
People are too quiet here.
Can everyone please stay behind the bike line? They're here for our safety. We have a safety team. We have a medic team. Y'all don't have to fight bikers if they pull up. You have to do that. Please stay behind the bike line to keep ourselves safe. White allies, you should be in the front. Black comrades, you should be in the middle, keeping yourself safe. Did everyone hear that?
Yes.
All right, say her name.
Makai Bryant.
Say her name.
Makai Bryant. Columbus. Do I have y'all permission to speak? All right. I ask again because I like thunder. Do I have your permission to speak? Yes. Something when we say take over the streets, we mean take over the streets. We got babies out here, we got organization leaders, we got allies out here. Remember why you're here. Don't get caught up in the hype. This is an everyday thing. If you ain't already know who I am, I'm Minnie Jackson based out of Fort Wayne. I came up here for y'all.
Yeah.
I came up here for
Minnie Jackson.
y'all. Now I done heard everybody speak, so I'm pretty sure I got the story correct. Micaiah was 16.
16.
That baby was autistic. She was scared. She was afraid. She didn't know what was going on around her, and their solution is to gun her down 4 times in the chest. And if you don't got a problem with that alone 4 times in the chest, can we say overkill?
Overkill.
I can't hear y'all. Can we say overkill?
Overkill.
Now I done did my research, and I also know this is a stand your ground state, so for anybody that tell you that cop was justified, you hit him back. Well, guess what? Micaiah was justified too.
Well, speak on it.
For anybody that speak down on this is not what we do. We don't blame the victim.
Minnie Jackson.
She
from
was the
Fort Wayne,
victim.
Indiana.
7 phone calls and nobody helped. You hold the police accountable. Yes, babies, y'all do that. Because they killing us every day. It is shoot to kill right now. Understand, it is shoot to kill right now. So when you out here in these streets, remember that no matter what you do, there is a possibility that you might not make it home. It don't matter if you're armed, unarmed, and going to the grocery store, walking into school and trying to go to class. They are going to gun us down. And it's even worse now that we got a guilty verdict. But don't let that guilty verdict hype your head up. That is not a sentencing. He can still get off with 2 years of probation. He also can file for an appeal and have a mistrial. So we ain't at victory yet. They ain't changed a damn thing.
Speak on it.
All they doing is pacifying us. They're pacifying us. How long are we going to be pacified? Do y'all see how y'all came together today? They scared of that. They so scared of that. They got drones watching y'all right now with facial recognition, and it's going to have y'all information if your face is not covered. These are the games that they playing. So how long or how many times are we going to try to write petitions? The power is right here.
In the streets. In the
The
streets.
power is right here. And like I said at the other protest, I got a 5-year-old. And I'm that mother. You shoot mine, I'm shooting you back. I'd rather die knowing that I served my own justice than to have my people out here marching for something that's not going to change. I'd rather be with her. Period. But we also have to hold each other accountable. From birth, black people, from my allies, if you don't seem to understand the life that we live, from birth, we are taught to defend ourselves, from white people, from the police, and from anybody else that hate blacks, because guess what? We've been portrayed as 3/4 animals, so they don't see us as nothing but property. We are still considered property. You getting up in the morning to go to work to make that rich man rich, you are property. They are using you. So when are we gonna stand up?
Yeah.
demoralize the black community. Why are we worshiping a drug addict? His past convictions ain't got nothing to do with the day he died. So you know what their tactic was? Did anybody in here tell me how many teenagers have been killed in the last 2 weeks?
God.
Too many.
Too many.
A young man was shot and killed and left for 30 minutes before they came to him. He was 17 years old. The mother called the police on him. The police came to the school, grabbed this boy out of the bathroom stall. He's scared. He's screaming, wait, wait, wait. The police shoot himself and they lit his ass up. Another one asked for a ride home, got home and found a disturbance. Understand, called the police back and was shot by the same damn cop. Don't be afraid. This is love right here. This is family right here. So Micaiah is a big deal. She a big deal because now they saying don't call us. They a big deal because now they taking our babies. A 13-year-old was just killed in Chicago. Hands up. Hands up. Now, I need the sky to shake. They need to feel you. This ground needs to shake. Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. We got somebody that's about to give y'all the demands. But keep y'all hands up. Keep y'all hands up. This is a moment of solidarity. This is a moment to feel your power. If you don't know what this means the power is in your hand. We the people demand justice for every black and brown body that has dropped since the beginning of time. It's time for you to reap what you sow. Keep them hands up.
Okay, my name is Destiny. I'm a senior at Ohio State. Alright, so I'm a senior at Ohio State, and for those of you who have watched the news or students yourself, you saw a bunch of white people, almost a crowd of 1,000 white people, gathered on Chittenden Avenue just last weekend or the weekend before that. They overturned and vandalized 8 vehicles, completely totaled vehicles. CPD was called numerous times, and CPD did not respond to them. This is the second time that OSU PD or CPD have failed to bring justice in certain situations. They were sledding with white students back when there was snow with no mask on in the middle of a global pandemic. They did not respond to calls of vandalism, actual vandalism that was occurring on our off-campus area. They were called and did not respond until hours later with no type of reprimanding any of those students or any type of accountability held. Then a couple days later, they shot this little girl 4 times, shot and killed Micaiah Bryant when she called for help. She was trying to defend herself. A child was trying to defend herself from grown women that were trying to beat her up on her own property, and they shot and killed her. This is days after CPD did not do anything when white students were off campus vandalizing property, causing harm. There was no type of accountability. Ohio State students since last June have been asking Ohio State to sever ties with the Columbus Police Division. There was a petition that circulated that got over 20,000 signatures, and Ohio State still has not heard those demands. In the response to the murder of Micaiah Bryant, Ohio State released nothing. They're carrying it on like usual. They haven't, the university's President Johnson has said nothing. Vice President for Student Life has said nothing. And that's a black woman at that. That's a shame. She should be ashamed of herself. Our university has been silent. We have been calling for them to sever ties with CPT for almost a year now, and they haven't heard us. They're not listening to us, and they're choosing to ignore us. We had a sit-in at the Ohio Union where hundreds of students sat in and were demanding for them to sever ties. And they have still said nothing. That was a child. There is no reason our university continues to stand behind a murderous institution such as CPD. It's time to sever ties. I'm going to read off the demands that were shared last year that got 20,000 signatures and were circulating. I will read them again because the demands still stand.
Someone please.
We, without hesitation, demand that 1. The Ohio State Police Department, OSU PD, immediately cease contractual agreements with Columbus Police Department for any and all on-campus investigation services and events. 2. The Ohio State PD immediately cease mutual aid service contracts with the Columbus Police Department and strongly reevaluate joint patrol operations to restrict the presence of and limit the frequency of calls on CPD officers and resources in the off-campus living areas. 3. The Ohio State University no longer accept federal military-grade resources and reduce OSU PD's budget for expenditures that may be used for further militarization. Instead, reallocate the funds to further invest to student support units such as the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, the Student Life Multicultural Center, Student Life Counseling and Consultation Services, or the Student Life Wellness Center. 4. The OSU Department of Public Safety release an action plan devised with student input that affirms the commitment to Black student safety and overall university safety through disarmed, anti-force, and culturally competent practices. 5. The Ohio State University acknowledge and condemn the anti-Black violence the Columbus Police Department committed against Ohio State students in the greater Columbus community. That was a lot to say, but overall, we need to sever ties with CPD. There is no reason that our land-grant institution in the state of Ohio continues to stand behind it. A 16-year-old girl was murdered, and our university has ignored their students' calls for severing ties with CPD, and they haven't even acknowledged the grotesque and inhumane actions of CPD. And it's so frustrating as a young Black woman who I was only 5 years older than Micaiah at the time of her death. That could be me in the streets getting gunned down, and our university has said they don't care. They don't care about our lives. They don't care about Black girls. They don't care about Black women, Black people in general. They don't care. We need to sever ties with CPD, and I'm calling on the university administration to start saying something. Say something. The silence is deafening. Your silence is violent, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
I'm Brianna, and I come to you from the organization Justice for Black Girls. I'm feeling real heavy because it seems that folks only care about Black girls after we die. But Black girls have to matter when we live. Black girls matter. Say it with me. Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
It can't just be that Black girls matter as well. Our joy has to matter. Our healing has to matter. Our liberation has to matter. It's too often that it's only a matter of concern when we're thinking about our abuse, our trauma, our death. But our lives matter just as much. Our joy matters. Blackness is complex, but it's also wonderful. Girlhood is complex, but it's also beautiful. Do not get confused. Our Blackness is not a burden. Our girlhood is not a burden. The system of white supremacy is the burden. These folks who refuse to get their knees off our necks are the burden. Do not be confused. We are glory. We are wonderful. We are all that is right in the world. Black girls have more vision than anyone else. We are goddesses. We are truth. We are light. We are radiant. We are effervescent. And we are luminous. Do not be confused about what we are. Every Black girl listening knows that you are infinitely loved. Your Black girlhood is sacred and it's holy. You are divine and you are wonderful. It's an honor to share space with you all. Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
I want to say one last thing before I close, because justice is impossible. All we can do now is demand police accountability. All we can demand is that we get rid of a police system that was built on our structural degradation. But justice is not possible. Let's reimagine what justice is, folks. I love you.
I know y'all
y'all can be louder than that, because we have some haters in the crowd right now. So let's chant them out. Say her name. Say her name. Where do we want it? Where do we want it? Justice. Where do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Dump him.
Without that bag, you a bitch and a half.
Without that bag, you a bitch and a half.
Without that bag, you a bitch and a half.
Without that bag, you a bitch and a half.
Without that bag, you a bitch and a half.
Without that bag, you a bitch and a half.
Without that bag, you a bitch and a half.
Without that bag, you a bitch and a half.
Black lives matter.
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 When I say black, you say 12. 12. 12. When I say black, you say 12. 12. 12. When I say black, you say 12. 12. 12. 12. No peace.
We have allies and security for stuff like that happens. We don't really want to redirect why we're here. Thank you. We're here for Micaiah Bryant.
Right.
But that's what people want to see. They want to see us react to them to provoke. They want to provoke us so we can react.
That's right.
And we're not getting arrested today, especially by some bystander. So, say her name. Say her name. So these are our community demands because enough is enough in Columbus. The mayor doesn't want to listen to us. City council wants to turn a blind eye, and they want to side with the police. When we continue to demand that they divest from the police and invest in the community. So we have our community demands, and we want them met. We are demanding the termination, arrest, and indictment of officers Jason Meade, Andrew Howe, Ryan Kirschbaum, excuse me, and Nicholas Reardon for the murders of Casey Goodson Jr., Andre Hill, Miles Jackson, and Micaiah Bryant. And these murders just happened. From December to now, these people have been killed by the police. We want the revocation of the pensions of Jason Meade, Adam Coy, Andrew Howe, Nicholas Reardon, and Ryan Kirschbaum. We demand full transparency and accountability in investigations of the deaths of Casey Goodson Jr., Andre Hill, Miles Jackson, and Micaiah Bryant, all murdered by the hands of law enforcement. We're demanding Franklin County Sheriff and Columbus Division of Police cover the funeral expenses of Casey Goodson Jr., Miles Jackson, Andre Hill, and Micaiah Bryant. We are demanding the immediate resignation of Franklin County Sheriff Dallas Baldwin. We are demanding the immediate termination of Deputy Chief Quinlan because he wasn't fired, he was demoted, and there's a difference. He's now Deputy Chief. So we want the immediate termination of Deputy Chief Quinlan in relation to his continued negligence in holding his officers accountable for murdering, terrorizing, and brutalizing the black community and those who support them. We are demanding the immediate resignation of Mayor Andrew Ginther. We are demanding a commitment from Franklin County Commissioners to divest from Franklin County Sheriff's Office. We are demanding commitment from Columbus City Council to divest from Columbus the Police Department. We are demanding a commitment from the Civilian Review Board to investigate and hold CPD accountable for their continued crimes against the black community and those who support them. So for y'all that don't know, the Civilian Review Board was the mayor's answer to so-called keep us safe. and it ain't working. So this is our current list of demands. Please continue to share them. We'll upload them. Please follow us, Black Abolitionist Collective Ohio, People's Justice Project. If you're white, follow Surge, Columbus, and learn how to be an ally. So we're going to have Cole from our safety team just give you a few reminders before we start our moment of silence. Hey y'all, I'm Cole. You've probably seen me running around. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? All right, cool, because it's important that everybody hears this. So we are all here to listen to our organizers, right? So what we need to not do is try to fight the white drunk people that may or may not be coming down here. Please do not instigate. You cannot hear me.
Don't fuck with the drunk people. Let them be.
Can you guys hear me now? Is that better? Yeah? Okay. We are not talking to people who are trying to instigate or distract from this event. There is a safety and security team here. We will handle it. I look like this. Come find me if you need me. Other than that, listen to the organizers leading this. Thank you. Hi, this is what I look like. Cool? Awesome. Thanks, guys. So we're going to sit in 16 minutes of silence from Micaiah Bryant. Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
Say her name.
Micaiah Bryant.
16.
16.
16.
16.
16.
16.
16.
16.
She was 16.
16.
16.
16.
16.
16.
16.
16.
Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
From Tyree to Micaiah,
Justice for our babies.
she was 16.
She was 16.
I'm not hearing y'all. This was a girl, a little black girl. She was 16.
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 She was a child.
She was a child.
She was a child.
She was a
If you
child.
haven't already, please tell your friends, your cousins, your aunties, whatever, come out here. We cannot let her name go out. We can't let that be silenced. They're trying so hard. The mayor's trying, city council, Ohio State University. They're trying so hard to make us forget her name, to make her another hashtag, but we can't allow for that. They're going to keep killing us. Stop killing us. Stop killing us.
Stop killing us.
Stop killing us.
Stop killing us.
Stop killing us.
Stop killing us.
I had got emotional because it's like, if we're gonna be silent on a little baby black girl, they don't give a damn about if I go. They could kill me right now. And people will really continue on and just act like it didn't matter. Like, black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Cell phones, Subway sandwiches, knives, sleeping in our beds. It doesn't matter. They kill. The police kill. They are murderers. They are the criminals. They agitate situations where they do not need to do any of that. We have trained professionals that can come and de-escalate a situation. The social worker earlier mentioned how easy it is for different people at schools to de-escalate situations. I've seen it. I'm going to be a teacher myself. I'm going to need to know conflict resolution when I graduate so I can make sure that these girls, these boys, they are not fighting and arguing. I'm going to be in a classroom teaching 16-year-olds. I'm going to have to know how to de-escalate a situation. And I know I can do it way better than a damn police officer can. 16!
She was 16!
She was a child!
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 I don't want to live in a society where we justify the murders of a child. There is never going to be a justification for this little girl's murder. No matter what they paint on the media, y'all heard her family. Say her name.
Ma'Khia Bryant!
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 The system continues to fail us. The system continues to destroy our lives. The system continues to separate families since the times of plantation slavery. Ain't shit changed. This is why we're asking, we're demanding the abolishment of the system. And when we say that, we don't say it in jest. We don't ask for reform. We're demanding the abolition of this system that does not work for black and brown people. So I just ask that you uplift the black and brown, the black women and girls in your life, because we're not doing okay right now. Like, it's ridiculous. And black girls and women are constantly forgotten, even when it comes to the police murdering us. Breonna Taylor is not the first black woman killed by police. Corinne Gaines, Sandra Bland, Ayanna Stanley Jones, so many more have been killed by the police. So we are forgotten and dehumanized even in our fucking death. And that's not right. Say her name.
Ma'Khia Bryant!
So again, I ask that you continue to uplift the black girls, the black women in your life, because we are not okay. This hits home more than anything else. This hits home. Ma'Khia was a child, and the world will know the name of Ma'Khia Bryant. They will not get away with this. Say her name.
Ma'Khia Bryant!
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 We are currently working on creating healing spaces, because healing is important. Healing is a part of the work. Healing is a part of abolition. Healing is necessary. So we're working on creating a community healing space for black girls and women so that we can heal among each other. Because I want y'all all to know that you're not alone. We're all feeling this. This shit hurts. It hurts, and it's okay to feel your feelings. Allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. Ma'Khia Bryant's family has been torn apart by the system once again. The system, from the top to the bottom, failed Ma'Khia Bryant. But the community will not fail Ma'Khia Bryant by demanding justice for Ma'Khia Bryant.
That's right. Right.
This is an open space. This is our community. So if any black girls, any black women want to come up and speak, please tap my shoulder. The mic is yours. This is for us. This is for Ma'Khia Bryant. This is for us. Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Black women matter.
Black women matter.
Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Black women matter.
Black women matter.
My middle name is Anonymous, but I just wanted y'all to know I support everybody that's out here, and I thank y'all for coming out here and supporting our lives. Because I'm biracial. My mom is white and my dad is black. So I got the best of both. But I'm black, and that's all that matters. They call me Igor all the time. So I just want you to know that I love everybody that's out here right now, and I thank y'all for coming out because it's blazing. But we're still out here. It was raining yesterday, but we're still out here. And we're going to continue to be out here because it matters. To me, to us, it matters. It matters that we get this justice for Kamaya Bryant, for George Floyd, for all these names that I've looked up from 2017 to now. Somebody said 100 and something. Too many names. I'm tired of saying our names right now. I'm sick of it. But I'm done.
Girls that want to speak, you can come up. Hi y'all. For those of you who don't know, my name's Sierra Mason. I'm from Canton, Ohio. I just really want to say thank you for all the out-of-towners, including myself and the people who came with me, for coming to support Columbus. I've been saying it for the last couple of days. Columbus is where we start change for the entire state. So if we can't change Columbus, we can't change small Canton, where I'm from. We can't change Akron. We can't change Oroville. We can't change Cleveland. So it's very vital and important to continue to fight in our state capital. It's important to continue to be united. It's important to continue to show up and show out and raise this baby's name. Because can I actually have a show of hands of who in this crowd is under the age of 18? I just want to know how many minors we have here. That's amazing. Because honest to God, they could have been any one of these minors in this crowd. It really could have. It really could have. It could have been any one of y'all. And I'm so sorry that you have to be here fighting with us for today, but I thank you for being here because Micaiah matters. You, baby girl, matter. You, baby boy, matter. And we will fight so that you have a future, so that this doesn't happen again in your community. Because these babies deserve to feel safe in their communities. These babies deserve to feel surrounded by love and solidarity and feel safe in your community. My white allies, y'all don't understand what it means to be a black man or a black woman in America. To walk these streets every day knowing that just because of the color of my skin, I am not safe. To raise a black woman in America. I have an almost 2-year-old daughter. So when I say it hits home, as a black, indigenous, Hispanic woman in America, I've been oppressed from all angles. And now our city and our state has been oppressed time and time again. We've had 4 murders in the last 4 months. And unfortunately, in both cases, in December, they were 17 days apart. We didn't even get to lay the last man down before they shot and killed the next. And we had the same case happen here. We didn't even get to lay the last man down before they killed our baby girl. It's a damn shame we keep having these motherfuckers in our communities. Like the leadership here always says, abolishment is the goal, dismantling is the method. So thank you to the organizers of this event. It's a beautiful event.
Alright, hi, my name is Vaughn. I'm 17 and this really does hit close to home because my mom came into my room as soon as she heard about it, crying. Like, she was like, it could have been you, because I was just downtown and like this white woman threatened to call the police on me just because I went into the bathroom with my non-binary friend. And so the situation got so escalated for no reason. And there was no reason for her to threaten to call the police on me. And I'm just 17, I'm just a kid, and I was just trying to get food, you know? I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna leave. Because I was not trying to die. Like, I know that they will kill me. Like, they don't care about what happened or if they're refusing service, even though I know that there's rights to protect us. They don't care. They don't care. And then my mom comes into my room and she was like, Snide, that could have been you. That could have been you. And I was like, I know, because like, and then my sibling always talks about giving me weapons to protect myself, because you know it's dangerous out here having a vagina. So I was like, I would have had I would have a knife on me if I was calling the police about to get drunk. Like I would try to protect myself. So the fact that these police officers are trying to justify what happened by any fucking means is ridiculous, because there's no excuse. There's no excuse to kill somebody who's 16 years old. There's no excuse. And there will never be an excuse no matter what you say, even if like he could have tased her. He could have tased her. He didn't have to shoot. He shot her 4 times. He shot her 4 times. She was trigger happy, and she was just 16. She was just 16. Like, that could have been my little sister, you know? And it's fucking sick that they do that to us. Sorry, I'm done.
So y'all hear this baby tears? See, it's tears like that that compel me to speak. Y'all hear that baby tears? Y'all hear them? But understand the power of the black magic. Y'all notice in the beginning she couldn't really hold her composure because of them tears. But you notice how that passion came out of her. And all of a sudden, everybody in this crowd could feel where she was coming from. It is dangerous out here. So right now, I'm talking to my men. That baby just touched my heart. There's no need to ask any age of any man that's out here in the crowd, but I want to holler at you for a second. It's dangerous being out here, especially being a woman because of a vagina. Did y'all hear that? She's 17 years old.
You can't walk alone. You can't go anywhere.
A group of men came together with this sick, twisted joke of saying that April 24th was National Rape Day. And some fools went for it, and some women got hurt on April 24th. Men, every time I come to a protest, I see women speaking. I see strong, black women speaking not only for themselves, but for you. So now my question is, if we can stand up in front of a gun to take a bullet for you, are y'all gonna stand up in front of a gun and take a bullet for us? Women are not toys. Women are not objects. Women are not here for your sexual gratification. We are here to uplift and build you. Y'all think that black women out here being independent for no reason? Where are you? Y'all want a woman in the kitchen to cook you breakfast, lunch, and dinner and be home to satisfy you when you get off of work, but where are you? They are raping us out here because of the way we dress. They are kidnapping and sexually trafficking our babies. My men, where are you? Because when the time comes, I only see women standing in the front line ready to take that bullet. Stand up for your black woman. Your black woman is the mother of everybody out here, the only woman that can have a child of any race. We are precious. We are jewels. And we are to be treated as such. We are to be treated with respect. Open up my door when you see me ready to get in or get out. When you see me walk across the street, hold my hand. If you see a puddle on the ground, you take off your jacket to make sure my shoes don't get wet. You want a woman in the kitchen? It's time to start being men. You already know you got a target on your back. And it ain't nothing like a black woman to make sure that that target on your back sways to her. Right. She's 17 years old, and by the tone of her voice, that lets me know that she don't feel protected by men. I don't feel protected by men. Stop looking the other way. Little black girls become grown women. We have to stop traumatizing each other. And my black women, I know we tend to be a little hard on them. We tend to give them a hard time. But understand that he has been traumatized just as much as we have. But we're stronger. We're built for this. We're built to motivate. We're built to build them up. So to every black girl out here under the age of 18 years old, you are young, you are intelligent, you are beautiful. Be proud of your hips, your lips. Be proud of who you are and love yourself. Protect each other.
This is not an isolated situation. And we want to make sure that we're supporting all the families that have been personally affected by police violence in Columbus, Ohio. A week before Micaiah was murdered, there was another man murdered by CPD. His name was Miles Jackson. Say his name.
Miles Jackson.
Say his name.
Miles Jackson.
Say his name.
Miles Jackson.
Say his name.
Miles Jackson.
Say his name.
Miles Jackson.
So we want to make sure that we're also supporting the family of Miles Jackson. They have a GoFundMe link, but if y'all can get out your phones, I can give you his mother's Cash App directly.
Can someone take it down?
Are y'all ready? Okay.
It's from Miles Jackson.
Are y'all ready? Yeah. Okay, so his mother's Cash App is baby girl, a traditional spelling, and the number's 5794. Again, that's baby girl 5794. And if you have not heard about the murder of Miles Jackson, he went to St. Anne's Hospital. First of all, he was passed out in his car minding his black ass business. Two Westerville Police Department officers decided to run his place. They found he had warrants from CPD. So they had CPD come to the hospital to arrest him. They say Miles Jackson has a gun. I still haven't seen it. They murdered that man in the hospital when he needed help. Mm-hmm. He wanted help, not a death sentence. But that's what the police does to black people. They give us death sentences. That ain't right. We don't get the benefit of the doubt. We don't get the addiction treatment that white people do. Because all of a sudden, it's an opioid crisis, but in the 80s, we was just some crackheads. It was our fault. And that's fucked up. Sorry, kids. And that's messed up. Miles Jackson needed help. He needed treatment, not a murder sentence. Not a murder, execution. But that's what the officers decided that day, that he didn't deserve to live. And St. Anne's has blood on their hands because this is not the first time that CPD has murdered someone in the hospital. How are you murdering people who are getting medical treatment, who need medical treatment? Christopher Wade was murdered in 2017, sorry. He was going through a mental health crisis. They said he had a gun, and they killed him. Jerron Thomas, he was going through a mental health crisis. At his home, he called the police. He called 311. He did the stuff that they tell us to do to receive the help, but instead, he was murdered. He was beat to death in front of his own home. Say his name. Say his name.
Jerron Thomas.
Say his name.
Jerron Thomas.
Say his name.
Jerron Thomas.
So I believe the friend of Micaiah is ready to speak. This is Chelsea. Y'all make some noise for Chelsea, please.
I was nervous to come up here, but then I had to tell myself, Micaiah was brave enough to be out there that day and try to defend herself like any other black woman. As a young girl, I couldn't even imagine, I couldn't imagine being in her shoes. Like, as I was younger, I walked up and down the street just in the dark and just experiencing her in that moment. I just know that she was scared. I knew her personally, and she wasn't an angry person. She was happy, like everybody else in the media who actually know her has said. She was always happy. I was actually jealous of her because other than these braids, I have natural hair, but her hair was always laid. I was so jealous. Those edges was laid. But I just had to come up here and say, these girls, can I come up here? These are my friends. And if Micaiah had these people like I have in her life, I mean, I know she had friends, but in that situation, in that moment, having those people behind you, and any black woman, we need to stick together. We have to stick together as women. There's no reason for us to be in competition with each other. We can all eat no matter what. There's so many people. Other races do it. Other races do it. There's so much money out here. Just like this Bitcoin and all that money is not even real. It's an illusion. So what are we fighting for? What are we in competition for?
Woo!
We're in the same. We are one and the same. There's no reason for us to be in competition. We should be standing together because the other people are against us. The only way that we can be better, and the only way for them to realize they can't break us, is for us to stand together. We can't one day be like, okay, we're going to stand together, and the next minute, okay, we're going to do this and do that. No, we have to stand together. In order for us to abolish the system, we have to stand together. We have to stop using them. We have to. That's the only way. It's the only way. It's the only way. And I just want you guys to know, everything is not what it seems. We have to love each other. We have to. If somebody does you wrong, it's because they're dealing with something deep inside that they can't control. Mental illness is real. I'm a mental health professional. Mental illness is real. Get your people help. Just like she was telling about the opioid crisis. Everybody else, it's get your people help. Get your people help. No, in the black community, we need to stop that. Get your people help. Insurance is free. Get your people help. They need that help, just like everybody else. In my profession, there's not even 10% of my clients are white. And there's so many people, this fentanyl is killing people. Killing people. It's killing people. You never know. That one time, I want to try it, dead. People that I deal with, my friend just overdosed 3 times and now they're going to die. Get your people help. Even if it's not dealing with drugs. Mental illness is real. Depression is real. People are bipolar. People are schizophrenic. All that. It's real. Get your people help. There's nothing wrong with it. Nobody is perfect. We're human. We are human. Humans are imperfect.
That's right.
And that's all I want to say. I love everybody. I try to really make sure, if I see, your hair is cute, I'm going to tell you that your hair is cute. If I like your outfit, girl, I like your outfit. Girl, I like them sunglasses. Pink is my favorite color. I like that crop top. That's cute. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing that I say is going to dim my light to help you shine. Nothing. And I just want everybody to just feel like whatever you have to do, just make somebody else's day better. Because it's not going to make your day worse. If anything, it's going to make your day better to see somebody else smile. You just made that person smile. And that's all I got to say. Thank y'all for listening.
Thank you. Yeah, clip that.
All right,
got one thing else to say, and that goes for like allies, y'all know. I'm gonna need y'all to stop posting traumatizing ass videos on your stories and then expecting me to be like, oh my God, thank you so much for caring about my black life. No, bitch, that's not helping me, that's traumatizing me.
Yeah.
I need y'all to stop posting those things, and then you post your little friend story and you're like, so like, why are y'all doing that? I have to watch this traumatizing video and then a post to you and your boyfriend? No, please stop. Please stop. If y'all want to help, post a link. Post a link. Post the numbers. Call the numbers. Y'all are not calling nobody. Y'all are just posting a post and that's not doing anything. Sign the petitions. Put it in your bio. Tell your friends. Tell your aunties, your mama, your daddy, your white friends. I don't care. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah. Get 'em.
Mental health is real, and it's okay. We have to stop stigmatizing it in our community and receive the treatment that we need. And there's resources available to get free mental health services. And like I said earlier, we are creating a healing space for Black women and girls so we can heal together. Because this is a tragedy. The Black community is traumatized, and we don't deserve to live a life of trauma. We deserve to be free. We deserve to know what liberation feels like. We deserve to know peace. Peace of mind is the best thing that we can have. We are traumatized. So yeah, stop posting those videos. I don't even watch police videos anymore. Like, there's no point. Because we know the police are wrong in the first place. I don't need a video to know that Ma'Khia lives matters. I don't need a video to know that a 13-year-old boy didn't deserve to die by the police, Tyree King. I don't need video to know that Miles Jackson needed addiction treatment, not a death sentence. So again, I open the mic to Black girls or women. This is your space. This is for our community. Come on. Thank you. I just have something quick and simple to say. I just feel like everyone has stopped saying it's because she had a knife in her hand, and she had a Subway sandwich in her hand, a phone in her hand, a microphone in her hand, any, like, nothing in her hand, it still would have been the same outcome. She didn't get shot because she had a knife. She got shot because she was Black.
That's right.
If there's any Black girl or woman that wants to speak, you can come up here. I just want to say that, like, I'm a college student. I do not want to be out here days on end. I have to finish finals so I can graduate. I can't even think about writing a paper on the historical importance behind imperialist political. I can't even think of, I don't even know what the prompt is. And it's due Tuesday, but I don't give a damn. There was a Black girl that was murdered. I'm expecting more college students to be out here. I know finals and I understand, but we have to show up for each other. That's right. There's nobody else out here but us. There's no one screaming her name but us, and we have to continue to do that, or they're going to try and forget her. They're trying to ignore it. They're trying to silence the noise. We cannot allow for that to happen. This was a child that got murdered by the police. We cannot be silent. You have to, I know fatigue is real, I understand. But again, there is nobody out here but us. Who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. Who keeps us safe? We keep us safe.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. You guys could be doing 1,000,001 things. So the fact that you're here, I just want to take a second and say thank you. They pay attention to numbers. So there's strength in numbers. Even if you're not a person that wants to get on the mic, or you're not a person that can stand toe-to-toe in that type of situation, just being out here showing support, dropping off water, maybe goggles, just a smile sometimes can encourage other people. I've done this so many times, guys, that this is my first time coming out for Ma'Khia. And the reason is because I got to the point where I was like, turn this bitch down. Like, no more names. I'm not saying not one more.
I'm not hugging another mother. I'm not sending another cash app. And I really didn't want that to be the message. So I stayed home for a little while. Because I understand that would get us some attention, but I don't know that we're in a position to have that type of adversity. I don't know that we're ready yet. But there's so many young faces out here today that it's very encouraging. I just want to take a second and say a few names. I'm very respectful to family, but I think at this point we're all feeling these losses. Like, these are our kids, these are our brothers, these are our sisters, these are all family members. So I just want to say a few names, and then I want to talk about Ma'Khia Bryant. So many things went wrong in that case, right? I could be here all day, but I just want to revert back to the fact that she was in a foster home, which means that the state was supposed to protect her, which means that there was already things that were going on in her life that require her to be placed in an environment that was different than what she was used to, right? So as a community, we can stop those things from happening so often just by, giving somebody a snack. If you see a neighbor that works all the time and maybe their kids are home and their kids look like they're hungry and they look like they need something, ask them, do they need help? More than likely, they will willingly accept it. You can be the difference as to why a kid doesn't go to children's services. Like, something that simple. Just being a human being, you can keep a kid out of the system. So I just want to start there. I also want to say that Ma'Khia Bryant is one of the reasons why Columbus, Ohio is getting a lot of attention. But she's not the first one, right? And there's so many familiar faces. Every time you come out here, you meet new people and you meet allies, and they become your family, because we're really in a life or death situation. Like, even having the courage to do what you're doing right now is you saying, I'm tired and no more. So I want to remember Ma'Khia, but I do want to say a few names with respect to the families, okay? So, and when I say these names, if you guys could just repeat it when I say the names, if you could say his name. And if there's any names that you want to remember, I do want to take the time to do that, because it's just not an isolated incident. In my opinion, it's an orchestrated hit. It's a command that's being carried out all over the world. That's just what I see. I do believe that. So right here in Franklin County in Columbus, Ohio, there's been so many names. Kareem Jones.
Say his name.
Obi Shepherd.
Say his name.
Henry Green.
Say his name.
Deron Thomas.
Say his name.
Donald Castleberry.
Say his name.
Tyreen King.
Say his name.
Kajon Osborne.
Say his name.
Kareem Jones.
Say his name.
How many others? Casey Goodson.
Say his name.
Right? There's just way too many. Julius Tate.
Say his name.
And again, in the case of Julius, babies. Why do we expect these youth to be more accountable and more responsible than the adults around them? I don't understand. It is our responsibility to create a safe place for these babies. So if you're an adult and you're out here, I salute you. I'm so happy. Every time I'm out here, all I see is the kids. It's a bunch of babies out here. There's no elders. There's no one to guide you guys, and they wonder why you're angry. So I just really wanted to take a second to say thank you for coming, and it starts with us. It starts in your own community. It starts in your own home, and it starts by listening. If a child is telling you that something is happening at home, I don't care how well you know the mother. I don't care how, polished they are. I don't care if it's your pastor, your teacher, your best friend. If a child is telling you they need help, we need to listen. Because Ma'Khia's sister said months ago to the officers, get me out of this house or I'm going to kill someone. And had we listened, those babies would have never been in that position in the first place. So we dropped the ball as a community. I'm not expecting CPD to do the right thing. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. What are we going to do? So I just wanted to say thank you guys, and Black Lives Matter.
I can't. I'm about to go into the real world and be a real adult. This shit looks miserable. We live in a society that doesn't prioritize us as black women, black girls, children. Like, you can't reform. I don't want a board to review the police. I don't want body cameras to continue to see the brutality and the trauma and the blood and the gory from murders by the police. I don't want to see research on the police and what they could be doing. I don't want to see training, implicit bias training. Fuck that training. Whoever fuck that training. You cannot reform this type of system.
It's in the top pocket here.
If they were going to reform the system, they would have did it with Trayvon Martin. They would have did it.
Thank you.
They've been
Thank you so
saying
much.
the same thing. I forget how old I was. I was a teenager when I first heard about Trayvon Martin. They've been saying the same exact things. Since before I was alive, they've been saying the same exact things. They've been brutalizing our bodies on camera and allowing people to share it as if it's some entertainment. We walk at these streets and we march and we protest in the life of Ma'Khia Bryant, and people are out their windows recording us like this is some fucking parade. This is life or death. We cannot reform this. I'm a political science major. I'm telling you now, there's no type of bullshit they can think of within policy that will truly bring us the change that we need, to truly bring us liberation. There is no policy.
That's right.
All it is minor fixes to shut us up. That's what they want to do. They want to shut us up every single time.
Bryant.
Say her name.
Ma'Khia Bryant.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
I want us to affirm a few things before we go. Black girls matter.
Black girls matter.
Black joy matters.
Black joy matters.
Black healing matters.
Black healing matters.
Black liberation matters.
Black liberation matters.
Black girls are not disposable. You cannot throw us away. We're here because we're loving black girls out loud in a world that makes any and every excuse to throw us away. Black girls don't have to be perfect to be alive. Black children don't have to be perfect to be alive. Black people don't need to be perfect to be alive. We are worthy. We don't have to argue our humanity. We don't have to argue our worth. It's innate. Again, we are glory and we are wonderful. Leave here knowing your power. Leave here leaning into the audacity of our ancestors. I believe that we will fight and I know that we will win. Ashe. All right. Again, I want to thank y'all so much for showing up today and showing love to Columbus and showing love to the family of Ma'Khia Bryant and all those who have lost their family members to police violence. To black genocide, that part.
Yeah.
So we're gonna close out for the night because a lot of people have been here, been out, because there were 3 different protests today. So a lot of people have been out since about 2 p.m. So we're talking about mental health and self-care. That's important, and it's important to take breaks.
That's right.
So we're gonna end tonight. And also, when we say that Columbus needs help, we mean it. So when we're having a street occupation, we expect people to stay until it's over because these are our streets. And it's a good ass day. And so there's no excuse as to why you wouldn't stay out here for this 16-year-old girl.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm talking especially to allies, because it's not the job of black and brown people to dismantle white supremacy.
Yeah.
It's not the job of black and brown people to dismantle white supremacy. You will see me up here advocating for our liberation, but this is not my duty. I advocate for us because we matter and we deserve a liberation. We deserve liberation, we deserve peace, we deserve to live. So, just next time, like I said, we're gonna have our national call to action on May 1st. So I'm asking people to come to Columbus. If you can't make it to Columbus, host something in your city. There will be a social media toolkit if you want to hold something in your city on the Black Abolitionist Collective of Ohio page. That's Baco614 on Instagram and Facebook. Because we need the support. The city doesn't listen to us. Our city leadership has failed us continuously. And this is happening way before the death of Tyree King, 13-year-old. So, thank you again for coming out. What?
What's your cash app?
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's real. That's real.
Give it.
You
You're
need
out
to
here.
share your cash app. Please, because you know she
She's not gonna
Yeah.
do it, and I know what this work is.
Yeah.
So I'm
Someone
gonna start
take
it
this
off
down.
with 100, and I ask everyone to pull out their phones because this work is hard. She shows up, and black women too often don't invest in ourselves. We don't have the privilege of investing in ourselves. If it's $1, if it's $2, I'm asking you to please spend it on you. Because I know how we are and we give it right back to the movement. So I'm asking that we do that.
I'm in for another 50.
What's your cash app? Harmony. YZ. The letters. The letters. And we shouldn't feel ashamed about being poured into. We shouldn't feel bad about being poured into because we pour so much of ourselves into this work. And so let's affirm her and overwhelm her with love as she continues to be on the front lines.
Yes.
She'll be here.
So we're going to march back. The march is going to be headed this way. We're going to be behind the bikes. The cars are going to follow, and the bikes on that side will be at the end.
Say her name. Micaiah Bryant. Say her name. Micaiah Bryant. Say her name. Micaiah Bryant. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Again, the cash app for Miles Jackson's mother. Oh, out of breath. The cash app for Miles Jackson's mother is baby girl 5794. They have yet to bury their family. She has yet to bury her baby. So please send money. Baby girl 5794. And I will get the information from Micaiah's family soon, and then we will post that. Again, May 1st, this is a national call to action. Show up to Columbus. You cannot show up, please host something in your city to support us. Thank you all for coming out. Please believe in peers. If you are by yourself, you can get a safety member to bring you to your car. Thank you.